Hi, welcome to valuationpodcast.com, a podcast and video series about all things related to business and valuation. My name is Melissa Gragg, and I provide divorce, mediation, and valuation services in St. Louis, Missouri. Today, we'll discuss business value drivers with John Warilow. He is the founder of the Value Builder System, which is a practice management software for business advisors. And he has a best-selling book called Built to Sell, Creating a Business That Can Thrive Without You. It was recognized by both Fortune and Inc. magazine as one of the best business books and has been translated into 12 languages. He's also written a few more books that we'll talk to you later about. But prior to founding the Value Builder System, he started and exited 4 different companies, including one acquired by a public company. He lives with his family in Toronto, and you can follow him by signing up at builttosell.com. He also has a podcast, and we'll talk more about that as well. So if you're moving beyond the numbers and you're doing something that competitively no one else can do, right? Because think about, we do valuations, right? And a computer could do it, a person could do it. You crunch the numbers, whoop-de-woo, right? We're not in the business for crunching numbers. We're in the business to settling disputes. That's it. It doesn't matter what the numbers are. It doesn't matter how many different numbers there are. We settle disputes. We settle disputes maybe quicker and easier and more efficient or productive than other people. Okay, fine. But you have to continue to do that. Like, what is the piece that you bring to the table, right? That is the differentiator that nobody can replace, if you will. And then how does that transfer to somebody else? Because sometimes when you build that so much reliant upon the main owner or the main management team, right? You still have an issue that it's all locked up in there. And, oh, great. Now I'm coming as a buyer and I'm saying, well, you do everything amazing, better than anybody else, but it's all locked up in your head. Like that is, this is where we get into some of the issues that you're talking about, is how have you created a business that you can walk away from? How does it work without you involved? Yeah. And again, those lead into some of the value drivers, right?
Yeah. To your point about can you walk away, another value driver is what we refer to as hub and spoke. And it really defines how dependent your company is on you as the founder. And the ideal is obviously that your company can thrive without you. One of the questions we include in Value Builder is, if you were out for 3 months, how well or poorly would your business perform? And if your business can take you leaving for 3 months, it's a sellable, transferable asset. No question about it. It's something that someone would want to buy, because that's the key determinant of a business that's transferable is, does it run without the owner? And I think it's easier said than done. I did an interview on Built to Sell already with a woman named Jody Cook, wonderful entrepreneur from the UK. And she built a social media advertising agency. So if you wanted to show up in Instagram or Facebook, and she would create ads for you and videos and so forth. In the early days, she even called it JC Cook. The name of her company had her surname in it. So it was completely intertwined with her personally. In the early days, it was just really selling her time and selling her kind of expertise. But quickly she realized that she wanted to build a company that could thrive without her, that it wasn't just her. And one of the first things she did, and one of the things we talk a lot about, is she really codified what they do into standard operating procedures. These are written documents usually, or videos that describe how things get done inside your company. And they become the sort of operating manual for your employees to work from when you're not there. And so this process of standard operating procedures was incredibly important for her to build a company that ultimately became more than just her. I think she had 14 employees when she decided to sell it. So she was able to scale it beyond her, which is a feat for a marketing services practice where it's oftentimes the owner's expertise. But the really, I think that the clincher in the why these SOPs are so important is that it makes your company not only more valuable, but more sellable. Because when she went to sell, she sold and got out without an earnout. And that is a really significant achievement in a marketing services business. An earnout, for folks who haven't heard that term before, is where you have effectively get paid a tranche of your proceeds for selling your company up front. And then there's another tranche or 2 or 3 in the future if you were to reach goals as a division of the acquiring company. And of course, earnouts are usually at risk, meaning they're not guaranteed. And in Jody's case, she was adamant that she did not want an earnout. And part of what she did to avoid it was to create these standard operating procedures. And when she got out, she sold, and she sold at the higher part of the range of what she was hoping to get for her business. I think she was hoping for 6 to 7 times EBITDA, and I think she sold at the higher end of that. And she sold and walked away 2 weeks later. And that would never have been possible had she not documented her standard operating procedures and improved her score on this value driver called hub and spoke.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I think that everybody, when we say, okay, the value driver is how do you operate the company with kind of being away, right? Going to an island for 3 months, right? With no cell service. But what people don't necessarily understand is the action items below that are really the pieces. So it is developing the infrastructure. It is allowing the control to move down the ranks. It is allowing people to have control to make decisions at certain levels. So it's not just about like, oh, can I leave? No, it's have you built all the layers that allow you to leave. And the layers are what people find beneficial and valuable.
Absolutely.
Because they can put somebody else in your position. They can put somebody else, or maybe they don't need that position. And so I think that it's not just about, creating a better cell phone that will go to the island with you so that you can answer all the questions, right? It's about building a better structure, and the people want the structure.